Hi class, this is our week 7 discussion, and I'm so crazy because I'm like, oh my gosh, we're almost finished. And this week I thought was a very interesting topic because this is a topic that I have struggled with in my faith a lot, and understanding and grasping, and that's the idea of God's reign and God's kingdom and the kingdom of God. And what I found what that means to me is understanding God's sovereignty and his reign, meaning he watches and is intimately involved in everything that he creates, and he created everything. And then in addition to that, his reign means not only being intimately involved in his creation and what's going on, but also meaning it is his kingdom to have control over, and at the end of the day, everything is in his hands. And the sovereignty of God allows the love of free will to be done within the confines of God's control. He has the control to give free will, and he has the control to have control. And I think that's a really beautiful aspect, because a practical way for us as Christians, honestly, to represent God's reign or to explain God's reign is honestly to be in worship and awe of who God is. Like, how can you be so full of love and so sovereign and literally the creator of the world, of the universe, and you still allow free will and you still allow choice, and also knowing that you're in control? It's something that we can't fathom. It's something that we can't think of. And I think the human mind isn't supposed to be able to fathom it. It's not supposed to be able to fully understand it. It's just supposed to, the human body and the spirit and our soul is simply supposed to worship it because of how good he is, and just who he is alone. Like, his character does not change, his sovereignty does not change. And I have still struggle to understand this, because sometimes I look at myself and I'm like, God, how could you allow me to do this? Or how could this have been allowed to happen? And yet he still uses everything for his good, for those that love him and work according to him. And he's good and faithful all the time, over and over. So I feel like God's reign is it's a state of being in awe of God, that he is in such control, and he is so good that he's intimately involved in everything.